What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and we needed to talk about this banner, but about banners in general around DanChro. Now, we've had DanChro for a little over a month, and about you guys, I've really been enjoying the gameplay. So I'm going to start this off with, like, a compliment. I love the gameplay. This has been really, really, really fun to learn and to basically partake in. I enjoy the PvP, I enjoy the story aspects, I enjoy all that. I even enjoy the most recent raids. I really think the game in general is very fun. But there is a glaring problem, and that is the gacha system. Now, we could talk about the gacha system, we could talk about the issues with it. I do want to mention I will discuss a few solutions. And I think I have a really, really good solution for this. But we got to talk about the problems first. So don't just tune in for the problems, then tune out. We need to talk about how to fix it and how to really make this kind of work in the realm of those of us that have been transferring over from DanMemo. So, number one, what we've got here is we've got a brand new banner. We're getting about a new banner every week at this point, and that is too many banners. First of all, period, end of story. We are getting too many banners. It's really hard to tell where to spend your iris, your Celos, whatever you want to call it, because every week we get another banner, and every week it's like, oh, these units are crazy. For instance, I haven't even looked at this week's units, but let's kind of check these out. So we'll go to our character details here for Riveria, okay? So, 6,700 power, 2476 HP, 384 strength, 348 intelligence, vitality 61, and dex 497. Okay? Assist skill, so she's an assist. And the cooldown on this is 50 seconds. Self, support technique, so only supports whoever she's tied to. Apply 40% HP increase. And recovery for self, apply 40% increase. Okay, so I take it back. That is the support technique. So apply 40% increase to the apply 40% increase of HP recovery. Okay, so 40% increase of HP recovery. So recovery of HP is 40% faster. That happens for 20 seconds, which is actually really good. Skill 1, when in battle, 30% endurance increase to self. Passive skill 2, when in battle, 22.5% strength increase to self. And unwavering support, when in battle, 15% magic increase to self. Of course, that's at full max. You know, it'd be what it'd be, but, you know, really all around a pretty solid unit. Okay, character details for Leafia, if they'll pop up here. Here we go. Power is 8370, so she's an adventurer. HP is 8049, strength is 387, intelligence 387 as well. Vitality is 327, and dex is 639. Skill details. Attack multiplier 52% from facing AoE attack. Remember, that's the kind of stick-shaped AoE attack. Attack multiplier for technique 1. Attack multiplier 112.5%. Cooldown is small from facing round AoE attack. Apply 30% reduce endurance to enemy for 8 seconds, which is really nice. Technique 2 is an int status multiplier 150%. Cooldown is medium. All units recovery technique. Apply 30% endurance increase to all units for 10 seconds. Very nice. Remember, it says all units. That means if you swap her out, the new unit that comes in still gets that. And her SA is attack multiplier 750%. We've seen bigger multipliers than that. Cooldown is large, front-facing AoE attack. Pulls enemies in range closer. Increases all allies' electricity damage by 40% for 15 seconds. So it's actually really good because not only is that, it's an all-team buff on top of just being a really good attack. So very nice. And it pulls everybody in. So if you have another unit that is like close range, swap into them. And if they're a lightning unit, they're going to do crazy damage. So Leafy is really, really good. She's just like really fantastic for that team. So a really great asset to have. Here's where my problem starts to kick in. That's all fine and dandy. But the rates here are atrocious. I don't know about you guys. I think we pulled a UR assist last night. I think I pulled one other adventure since we've started this game. And the thing is, when it comes to gameplay itself, those UR adventures are your bread and butter. They're the ones that really get you far. So having 3 or 4 of them isn't going to be viable in 6 months' time. We really need to start building teams and things like that. So the rates are just so tragically bad. Now, there is a pity system. It ain't the best, but there is a pity system. So all of that, I get. I kind of get. I think it's a bit brutal, but I get it. Here's the thing that I cannot forgive one bit. If we go down here to the paid URs, okay? So, see, these are all the rate up URs. Here we go. So, paid only adventure gacha. You are not guaranteed a specific unit here. You are only going to just pull some random adventure out of the stack. Here's the deal, guys. And a lot of us that play DanMemo will kind of contest to this. If you're not pulling the unit you want, and you are just forced to go into your paid, sometimes it's, I would say better, but it's good to have that backup plan. Okay? Number one, I really do think that having a really solid, for lack of a better way to put it, just a really solid paid support, or say paid banner that is guaranteed to have at least one of the new banner cards in it is going to help out immensely. Not only that, and I mentioned this on Twitter, they posted a thing a couple days ago touting one of the new support packs. It's really just there for the new units. And I said, that's fine and dandy, but the problem is, how are you going to sell a support pack for a unit that the vast majority of players simply can't pull? Here's the deal. And I get it. Microtransactions are the backbone of a gacha. But if 1% of your player base, 1%, is able to pull the adventure unit that they want out of this, and that's just assuming that they get that new adventure, not including the other adventures out there. 1% pull that new unit. Great, that new unit is rare. That new unit is awesome. Here's your problem. You're selling that support pack to maybe 1% of that 1%. You have, as a function of the microtransactions in the game, such a low consumer base for that support pack, you might as well not bother. It's got to cost more to put out those support packs for the few number of people that are actually consuming them. Whereas, if you had a one-time only, single-use, paid banner that guaranteed one of, not both of, just one of those new units, either the adventure, the assist, or whatever, you would sell so many more support packs. You would sell so many more of those banner pulls. You would be selling paid pulls left, right, and center, and as such, you'd be selling the support packs as well. It would be so, and it's literally just as simple as turning one banner paid. Now, this kind of comes with a caveat, because if you do this every week, it's going to kind of get old hat pretty quick, and people are going to start having to make decisions. And this is kind of where I'm going to get to the, I guess, the scheduling of these banners. So let's kind of go back up to the top here and take a look at this. So when it came to DanMemo, and I'm going to compare it to DanMemo, I think it's a fair comparison. About, every 3 to 4 weeks, we'd get a new pair of banners. Now, those banners would often guarantee new units. But the thing is, in that game, you really had to bond out those units to be worth a darn. Here, you don't necessarily need to, at least not yet. Bonding units is good, and it gives you a big stat boost, but it's not world-endingly necessary. You can use any of the current adventurers and supporters at level 70 and be just fine. Here's the thing, though. Having a banner every single week gets exhausting. It gets so tiresome. With DanMemo, we'd get a couple of banners every 3 to 4 weeks, and each one of those banners would have 3 to 4 units on it. It's really, if you break it down, about the same schedule. But because it's not throwing tons and tons and tons of banners out there, it didn't feel as aggressive. And that made it feel better to save your iris and summon on those banners, because you actually felt kind of accomplished. And then you had a short reprieve in the meantime to farm up more free-to-play currency. Now, that's kind of my other gripe, is that there's definitely not enough free-to-play currency in the game. That needs to be fixed. I don't have a quick and easy solution for that, except more events and more ways to get currency in-game. That is definitely a major necessity. But more to the point, if you took, let's see, so we got Riveria and Leafia on this one, right? And we got Eyes and Loki on the last one, right? That's one banner right there. Then you've got Haruhime and Mikoto, and you've got Hestia and Lily. That's a second banner. Drop those two banners, or even drop one week, one the next week, and let those banners sit for 4 weeks each. Maybe let the first banner sit for 4 weeks, the second banner sit for 3 weeks, whatever. That is going to feel so much better and so much less cumbersome and just so much nicer from an end user perspective, that we are going to have a lot more fun summoning in the game. So just these two really easy fixes. Fewer banners with the same number of units. Instead of a banner a week, we get, a banner a month, or 2 banners a month, slightly staggered, with 1 paid pull per that is guaranteed to be a new unit. Then you sell a ton of the support packs. You sell tons of those guaranteed summons. And you're going to have a lot of people clamoring for now dupes of units that otherwise they couldn't have gotten at all. It just makes sense. It's give a little, but give us the opportunity to kind of go further with it. It's not a gimme. It's literally just a boost. And call it a stimulus package for your banners. It would help out so much. And stop with the once a week banners. It's just so tiring. If we had 3 to 4 units in one banner with the exact same rates, the exact same everything, it just wasn't every week beating us up and beating us up and beating us up, it'd feel a lot nicer, because then also when we summon, our odds of pulling the unit we want are, while roughly the same, probably a little more likely, because they are now kind of absorbed into that banner. It's another way to kind of encourage more summoning, because the instead of, what unit's coming out next week, which unit's coming out next week, which unit's coming out next week, now we know we've got a slight reprieve. We can summon on these if we really like them. We can save if not, and then once again, when you drop those support packages, more people are going to buy them, because more people are going to have the units. I think it just makes sense. To me, it seems like just a common sense win-win scenario. So, to recap, not once a week banners. Once a month banners, maybe twice a month banners tops, and bundle a lot more of these units, and give us a paid gacha that's guaranteed to be at least one of the 4. And you would be shocked. You'd be surprised how much more money this game will generate in revenue. Because right now it really does feel like a desperate game, clamoring for a fandom, clamoring for its last throws, while it just tries to suckle the as much money as it can out of somebody, and then just fade into obscurity. With a game like this, and the fandom the way it is coming from the other game, there's no way that this game is still going to have players, at least from DanMemo, after 6 months to a year. It just won't. And I think the gameplay deserves it. The gacha system is the only thing that's just so tragically in need of a revamp. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as always. I'm just going to post this out there. I don't know if they'll even see it, but I just think it's so important to kind of have these discussions and come up with ways, rather than just turning off the game and stopping, because I really think the game has a lot of merit. This part just pains me to the end of the earth, because there's such an easy fix that would make it so much more enjoyable and frankly so much more lucrative. I see these old school gacha techniques and these habits that these gacha companies have had for like a decade now, and they don't work in 2023. People have caught on. People know. Nobody's doing that anymore for a very good reason. There's a better way. I'm not saying my way is optimal. I'm just saying it's an example of what can be done to make this work. Like, comment, share. I'll be back with more DanChro and, of course, DanMemo coming up here for you guys really soon.